I wonder if you've ever thought about your life as a timeline and what it might look like if you were to create one. A friend of mine suggested that I do that because of some unique circumstances in my life and a story that I need to tell about them. There's nothing special about this, it's just an idea that came to mind, and I think it's kind of interesting. It's in a mountainous setting because I like mountains, and being outdoors and in nature formed the foundation for a very important friendship in my life that I will tell you about. It's been 5 years since my first July 26, 2020 Facebook post where I first mentioned Reminders for the Journey, a project inspired in part by my friend Tony Juliana. That day I shared some reflections on the significance of July 26 in my life, particularly in memory of Tony. Though it would have been his 64th birthday, for the 44th time July 26 marked the anniversary of Tony's funeral, which occurred on his 20th birthday in 1976. For many other reasons, each July 26 brings with it a number of mixed emotions as it marks some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows in my life. The most significant personal event that happened on July 26, 1973 was when, as an 18-year-old recent high school graduate getting ready for college, I became a believer in the Christian faith. That decision pointed me down a path that I have never regretted. At the time of that post 5 years ago, I fully expected to begin producing videos for Reminders very soon. I was already an active YouTube content creator, so making videos was something very familiar to me. But this project was different. Among other things, I was going to be talking about the life of a friend who died many years ago. And I wanted to be sure that I started in the right way, truly communicating what I felt was important about him, his life, and our friendship. It was actually about 10 years ago, as my 60th birthday rolled around, that regular memories of Tony began creeping into my daily thoughts. And I knew I needed to rethink his death and hopefully come to a new and better perspective. My post 5 years ago illustrated the progress I was making and reflected my desire to make some things happen. I had learned that in making YouTube videos, sometimes you need to push yourself to create and finish a video just to keep the mindset of being productive. But I would soon realize that in the case of Reminders for the Journey and talking about Tony's life, I needed to continue to be patient. There were many more discoveries to come, and most significantly, members of Tony's family I needed to connect with. Because of Tony's early death and his large family, I never knew many of his brothers and sisters. Jerry made this Facebook post in February of 2019 that I just happened to see and respond to. Jerry was about 10 years older than Tony. For 6 years, Jerry and I stayed in touch. That connection would lead me to Tony's youngest sister, Betty, and another brother, Mike. At Betty's suggestion, she, her husband Phil, and Mike came to Albuquerque, and we met at my home and spent many hours talking about Tony and my plans for Reminders for the Journey. That meeting happened last year in the fall of 2024, and I now realize that I would have not wanted to proceed further with Reminders without those insights I gained from them. It was amazing that the only reason we were together that day was because of Tony's life that ended almost 5 decades earlier. So here we are, 10 years since I first started down this path, and I've just passed my 70th birthday. For one big obvious reason, now I had better get busy telling this story about Tony and other stories of Reminders for the Journey. Neither I nor anyone else I know is getting any younger. While I will post occasional updates about Reminders episodes on Facebook, the actual episodes themselves will be posted on YouTube. Because of the years of experience with YouTube through my regular channel under my name Rusty Dobbs, I know the platform well. My Reminders for the Journey episodes fit well with YouTube's format, allowing me to do creative things that I'm accustomed to doing. Kind of like the things you see here, my presentations will be a little different than maybe something you've seen before. I enjoy creating 3D environments and hope this adds a little interest for you as you watch. Many of the background scenes will be taken from the hometown of both Tony and me, Carlsbad, New Mexico. If you are from there, most of the scenes that you will see will be familiar to you. Though Carlsbad has some uniqueness of its own, it's also a pretty typical middle-class small town. It's a lot like most small communities, so hopefully you will feel some connection here as well, even if you've never been to Carlsbad. You can find the new channel by searching on YouTube for Reminders for the Journey, Rusty Dobbs, or any combination of those words. And just like with any YouTube channel, you can subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. So what will you find in these Reminders for the Journey videos? They are entirely true stories rooted deeply in real-life experiences. While you'll certainly learn many biographical details about Tony and others, because I'm sharing these stories means they'll also be about me in part, talking about how these events influence my own directions. We'll explore the important role that faith and theology have played in my life and in my friendship with Tony. Since I've been fortunate to live a long life, I've come to realize that the passage of time offers a powerful lens to allow us to gain new perspectives on our life's most significant moments and how our understanding can evolve with the passing of time. Finally, I will talk about a God thing. That's a phrase a friend shared with me a while back. While it sounds like a light-hearted, almost dismissive comment, let me assure you that the meaning is really quite the opposite. 3 simple words. A God thing describes when we encounter a moment that has a deep, lifelong spiritual impact on us, and the events in that moment are simply unexplainable in normal conversation. It may be as simple as some words someone speaks to us or some sequence of events. But what has happened is that God has intervened in our lives to make some point, often, I think, to reassure us that He is there. In my case, these events leave me a little dumbfounded and wondering what has just happened here. Generally, it takes me a little time to start to understand, but in some instances, it has been years. In my life, these God thing moments have not happened often, maybe a handful of times up to when I turned 60 years old. But a number of events relating to Tony over the past decade fall into this unique category. To call them all coincidences is simply not believable, not a chance. There are too many documents, too much documentation, and I've been paying attention while I've been gathering all this over the past decade. An honest question I don't have a complete answer for is, why do I feel entrusted to do this? Why is talking about Tony in this way so important 49 years after his death? I don't know. But I have enough of an answer to get me started and carry me along that way down that path. Maybe some of you will have some insights. I will be at this for a while. Most of all, though, my hope is that these deeply personal reminders will resonate with you and offer you insights for your own journey.